Then he said, he moved on to drug testing for welfare recipients. That one didn't make it either. That's another loss of the lost cause. Then he wanted to insert himself, as the Republican leadership has tried to do in so many cases, between doctors and their patients. He decided that it wasn't a good idea for doctors to have a discussion with their patients about if you have children in your household, that you should probably have your handguns or your weapons put away in a safe place. They thought that was a bad idea, according to him, and the NRA in Florida. So the Docs and Glocks gun was also turned down. He also tried to pass laws on teacher tenure and student performance. He lost that one too. And then, of course, redistricting came up, and they lost on 2 cases. That was actually approved by the Florida Supreme Court. Yeah. And then his latest escapade is the voter suppression law. He's trying to suppress Florida voters here, just as many other Republican-controlled legislatures across this country. And it's funny, other than the one other state, every place that that's been attempted has been in Republican-controlled legislatures. So he has now, what does it cost for all those lawsuits? I can tell you right now, the tab is now approaching $1 million to try and defend unconstitutional laws that he and the Republican leadership in Florida have passed. And they have another $500,000 on retainer for the big lawsuit, which is coming up in September, on September 7th, before the Florida Supreme Court, which is the lawsuit about the Florida retirement system, where the governor came in. And although he promised in TV commercial after TV commercial that he was not going to change retirement benefits for current employees, he made no promises for new hires. But for current employees, he said he would make no changes. Well, that lasted until just after the swearing-in ceremony. And he began then making the changes. He passed Florida's first income tax on statewide income tax for public employees. Every employee began to have to pay 3% towards their retirement benefit. Now, Florida retirement system, those of you that may not be in it and may not know, has, by any account, by the Pew study groups or any other study group, is rated in either the top 3 or the top 2 of all pension plans in the entire country. So there's no debate about that it's well funded. It's been over 100% for 10 years during the early part of this decade, and is in the high 80s right now. Most pension plans shoot for an 80% funding level. But he decided that employees needed to pay 3%. Unfortunately, he didn't. Not a penny of that went towards the pension plan itself, because when the employees started paying 3%, he reduced what he put into it by 3%. In other words, not one penny went towards the pension plan, not one new penny anyhow. They also canceled the cost of living for retirees. Now, a lot of us hear in the newspapers, because it sells newspapers, you'll hear that so-and-so got a pension of $50,000 or $100,000, and they got the drop, and they took this money with them. Well, I'm here to tell you that the average pension in Florida, in the Florida retirement system, the average one across all the work groups, is $19,000. $19,000. So keep that in mind when you hear about pension abuse and things such as that. We can't. I guess the final straw on pensions this year was Florida has 2 choices when you become if you're a state employee or a county employee or a city employee in the Florida retirement system. You have 2 choices. You can join the regular retirement plan that gives you a retirement check after you retire, for the rest of your life or for 10 years, whatever you choose. Or you can go into the defined contribution plan, which is a 401k basically. And 401k plan this year for employees who are already in the plan was reduced from an employer contribution of approximately 9% down to 3%. That was a 65% change, a reduction in employee contributions toward their salary. And this is for people that have no choice now. They made the choice to go into that part of the pension plan when they were first hired, maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, and now they're looking at not being able to retire when they reach retirement age. So when it comes to legislation, we have some real people that up there. Senate President Mike Geragopoulos, which I believe hails from this neighborhood anyway, I don't know if he's from Brevard, and Dean Cannon from Orlando, decided that union dues were something that employees shouldn't be able to pay through payroll deduction. It's called paycheck deception. It's been tried in a number of other states. It's failed in every state. And here in Florida, it was tried last year to pass it, to say that employees, that once they've earned the money, and the money's coming in your paycheck, you cannot decide how to spend it. You can't have a dues deduction if you choose to belong to a union. Remember, Florida is a right to work for less state. Nobody's in the union because they have to be, only if they choose to be. And there was no attempt to reduce to disallow insurance deductions from your check, or United Way deductions from your check, or benevolent association deductions from your check. Only unions were targeted. That you can no longer, and they knew this would cripple the unions. It would not allow people. They'd have to go out and collect union dues from each member as best they could. So that passed in the Florida House. Every Republican voted for it, except for about 5 I can count on my hand, and every Democrat House member stood with us and voted against it. Unfortunately, the Senate and the House have supermajorities in both chambers. And in the Senate, we were able to take the last vote on paycheck protection, and with every Democrat senator under Nan Rich's leadership, we were able to stop that with the 2 Republican So I can tell you one thing in 2014. I think it's a safe bet to say that 1 million members of the Florida retirement system and their beneficiaries will not be supporting Governor Scott for re-election. This year in 2012, we can expect more of the same in 2013. So let's get out there and let's elect more Democrats. Thank you.